Jak Chi. Key traits. Demon Skull Fist. Jak Chi uses a brutal striking/grappling martial art that targets Chojin nerves, organs, and bones simultaneously, bypassing defense via sheer trauma. Soul Suppression Aura. His techniques weaken enemy spirits before the body falls. The longer you stand against him, the heavier your soul feels until willpower cracks. God-killing martial training. Jak Chi trained to kill other Chojin and even gods. His pressure style is designed to break even immortal beings in hand-to-hand. Torture Lock Finisher. His ultimate technique doesn't just pin, it folds, compresses, and snaps the enemy through layers of pain, blocking regeneration or divine escape via complete nerve lock. Pain Transmutation. Jak Chi can absorb incoming pain and redirect it into kinetic force. The more you hurt him, the harder he hits. Fighting Style. In your face and brutal. Jak Chi walks forward through divine attacks, crushes posture, and uses demonic throws and locks that render gods helpless in close quarters. No tricks, just inevitable brutality. Ultimate Exister. Key traits. Supremacy over cause. The ultimate exister doesn't act within the story, it is the story's conclusion. Every move is the correct move across all possible timelines. Omni-field control. Space, time, logic, emotion, identity, all fields bend to the exister's presence. Resistance becomes recursion. Any attack used against it loops back into futility. Meta Existence Override. If an enemy is defined as unstoppable, the exister recontextualizes them as already stopped. Power is irrelevant, only state of narrative logic matters. Final Expression Strike. Not a technique, a sentence that rewrites reality. If spoken, it turns victory into fact, not goal. For example, you lost when you walked in. Zero Combat Form. It doesn't need to fight. You simply stop mattering. Your abilities unravel. Your identity becomes commentary. Fighting Style. The exister doesn't fight, it concludes. Everything you do becomes non-canon unless it chooses to acknowledge it. It's not omnipotent, it's final. Once the exister acts, the story shifts to reflect its absolute authority. Fight Trait Analysis. Grappler versus Narrative Anchor. Jak Chi thrives in hand-to-hand, but the exister has no form to grip unless it chooses one. Even if he punches it, his fist may strike conceptual presence instead of muscle. The only way to touch the exister is if it permits you to, and it usually doesn't. Pain Engine versus Causality Editor. Jak Chi grows stronger through suffering. But the exister can deny that pain occurred. It simply erases the input conditions for the process. Jak Chi may punch, bleed, rise, only to realize those events never had value in the exister's realm. Iron Will versus Canon Control. Jak Chi has unwavering will, but the exister can overwrite what will means. Even an unbreakable resolve becomes meaningless if reality is rephrased to say, your will never existed. Power Scale Clash. Jak Chi is one of Kinnikuman's god-tier brawlers. The exister is the narrative endpoint of all fictional escalation. It is unbeatable not because of power, but because the concept of winning always defaults to it unless overthrown by meta-authority. Overall chance of winning. Jak Chi, 0.00001%. He could win only under one impossible condition: if his martial arts were so perfectly pure that they pierced narrative itself, that his fists didn't just hurt the exister, but defined a new canon where he triumphs. This would require Jak Chi to evolve into a meta-character, which isn't part of his universe's logic. Ultimate Exister, 100%. The Exister wins simply by existing. It doesn't overpower, it finalizes. Unless Jak Chi becomes a higher narrative being, every move he makes is already known, contextualized, and overridden before it happens.